Hello and welcome to this month's Fit for Colorado Talk to the Doc chat. I'm CBS 4 anchor and health reporter Kathy Walsh. For the next half hour, we will be chatting about fitness and health issues here on CBS4Denver.com. Throughout this chat, we encourage you to ask questions by simply typing them in the chat window at right, and we will do our best to answer those questions. In today's chat, we're going to discuss New Year's resolutions. Many people make them. January is a time to regroup, take a look at yourself, and resolve to be a better you. Well, I read online that the three top resolutions for 2009 are shaping up to be: number 1, get out of debt; number 2, stop smoking; and number 3, lose weight. It's not surprising that 2 of the 3 deal with health. So if you make a resolution to get healthy, how do you stick to it? How do you avoid getting discouraged and giving up? How do you turn a resolution into a habit? Well, joining me today is Dr. Juenemann, a family practice physician and sports medicine physician from North Suburban Medical Center. And also we welcome back Dr. Jim Hill, co-founder of America on the Move and director of the Center for Human Nutrition, UC Denver. All right, right off the top, I've always wondered this. Why do we make resolutions?
Well, I think resolutions are goals for the year to establish where we'd like to be in the very near future. And the new year, with it's full of hope and energy and excitement, it's easy to make a resolution and try to change your life.
Jim, what resolutions do you hear the most?
Well, you know, the economy is pushing weight loss down, but usually losing weight is the big one. Yeah. So it's a time, we know all through the year we need to lose weight, but again, as Shane said, it's a time where we can say, okay, what are the big goals for us? And oftentimes it is to do something with our weight.
All right. The biggest issue, it seems to be, and I think we've all been there if we're honest, you make this resolution, January 1, I'm going to stop eating poorly, I'm going to exercise, and by February 1, we've given up. So keys to sticking with them. I've got a list here. Let's take a look at that list and see if we can go over that and see if you agree with them or you want to add to them. First one I heard was use a journal, which makes a lot of sense to me. They say if you write things down, often you will stick to it more, and they say, you know, Weight Watchers has always said, write it down, and then you tend to follow a diet more. You think that's a good idea?
It's really true, and you know, a good example of that is food intake. You think, well, you know what you eat, you eat all the time, but you don't. We don't pay attention to it. And we had so many people, Kathy, they'll keep a journal and they'll say, oh my gosh, I had no idea I was eating that. So you don't know, and it just makes you aware of what you're doing.
Yeah, doctor, do you ever tell your patients to use a journal?
Absolutely. And the problem I find is you have to be honest with yourself when you keep the journal, because a lot of people forget that they're eating that ice cream right before bedtime, and they forget to put that in the journal.
Conveniently.
So there are no calories in that,
right,
so I'll just not write it down.
Especially if you ate it standing up.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah, no calories then. All right. Set realistic goals. And I've heard, think baby steps. You know, don't say, I'm going to lose 100 pounds by March. It's not going to happen. Think slowly.
This is a big one. I think the most important one. You know, America on the Move is all about small changes. Not that big changes couldn't work, but they're not as easy to sustain. Think about it. When you go on a diet, you're ready to go out and give up your favorite food for 6 weeks, but you can't do it forever. So rather than set these huge goals that may be achievable and not sustainable, think about small goals that are incremental that you can keep forever.
So what would be a small goal? Any idea?
Well, using the Weight Watchers Foundation, they talk about losing 5 pounds, and they reward every 5 pounds. So, yeah, in the end, you may lose 50 pounds, and that's fantastic, but that 5 pounds is the start, and every stepping stone thereafter, you reward yourself.
Should you set a goal like, all right, I want to lose, say, 30 pounds by my high school reunion? Is that a good idea?
I actually think that people need to consider setting goals in behavior, not weight. So set a goal like, I'm going to make some small changes to watch my portion size, or I'm going to eat a little bit less fat, or I'm going to watch the sugar I eat. I'm going to set a goal in terms of physical activity. You know, I love the steps goal. Get a pedometer, set a goal in steps. And I think if you meet these behavioral goals, the weight will come along with it.
And what do you think about that when it comes to physical activity?
I have to completely agree. The pedometer is a great tool for that because it shows you on a daily basis what you have done or not done to keep your goal. You can throw that into your journal along with what you're eating.
Exactly.
And then you get you can look back at your week and say, well, I really fell short here with my number of steps, so I'm going to increase my number of steps next week. And so you can alter those goals as you work with your journal.
We've seen some amazing stories of people that literally couldn't get off the couch. They couldn't walk to the end of the driveway, and they start gradually doing it, and pretty soon they're walking miles, or they're running, or they're doing something more intense. So no matter how bad you are, if you haven't exercised in years, it's still okay. Get up and walk to the end of the driveway. Do it twice tomorrow.
Yeah.
Small steps.
And I think you always need support. So the one I've seen is recruit a support team. You don't want anybody sabotaging you. Oh, don't worry, it's just one potato chip. You know, you want somebody who says, okay, I understand what you're going through, right? And I'll be there for you.
Absolutely. My personal, I don't like to go lift weights. And so without a buddy or a friend supporting me and said, hey, let's go lift weights today, I just don't make it. And so I fall short on my own goals. So a support team is always important.
It is important, but let me give you a different twist on that. If you're hanging out with people that do all the wrong things, you can get caught up in the wrong kind of social support. So I'm not saying change your friends, but I'm saying if you want to be active and you're not, and your friends aren't active, look at how you can join a group or get involved in some people that are doing it. Find that support of people that are doing what you're doing.
Yeah, that makes total sense. And I think if you can afford it, sometimes even just to get you started, maybe get a personal trainer so you know how to exercise, no?
Absolutely. If you can afford a personal trainer, do it. If you can afford to join the YMCA, do that. If you can afford to go to the local rec center, the idea is get out and do it. Go to places where there are people there who are doing what you are, exercising, and it'll help your social support.
Right. Yeah. Get motivation. One of the things I saw was try on your old jeans to see your progress. You know, get something that motivates you, that makes you feel like, okay, I'm doing this, this is working.